Hey, is your mom still alive, Dorothy? If she's alive, I have something small I'd like to ask her about. Huh? What is this? How can you be that indecent at a time like this? You think that I'm just going to say she's alive right now and is ready for what you have to ask? Come on, and just tell me now. Is she still alive right now or not? Because depending on the answer you give me there, will let me know what I need to do next here. She's alive. But tonight has been the hardest for her so far, and I'm not sure just how much longer she's going to be with us. Right now, her whole family is wishing and praying for her to be okay. If anything, you should come and be here too if you're going to start annoying me like this. Ah, so she's still alive then. Good. She wasn't answering her phone at all, so I just assumed she had passed away already. And the reason she's not answering her phone right now is because she's not doing well at all. What the heck are you even doing right now, Madison? All right then. Then can I call you instead of her and have you pass her the phone? Or just put the phone on speaker and have her listen to what I have to ask? That's not happening, all right? She is barely with us as it is, and you want to talk on the phone with you about something completely unrelated? You need to stop it with that careless attitude of yours right now, you jerk. Huh? The way you're talking about me is a little bit mean there, Dorothy. Is that because you're becoming an old crooked woman yourself now? Listen here, I do not have the time right now to be playing whatever games you're wanting us to play. Right now, my mom is very close to passing away, and I want to only focus on her. Just let me have my last moments with her in peace. All right. I'm sorry for trying to get a hold of her through you or anything. I guess you're the one who's more important than me of all people today. Now, can you just let me know if either of you know where the car keys are? I just need them really quick so that I can take the car. What? Right now, I really need the car in order to go out and take care of something. I mean, your mom was taken to the hospital by ambulance, right? So that must mean she left the car keys to her car somewhere here in her house. I can see her purse here, but there's no car keys in it. So you're going to try stealing the car of my own mother, who is currently on the brink of death in this hospital bed? I never once said that I was stealing it, did I? I'm just going to borrow it for a little while is all. And you can trust me on that because I decided to actually contact you about this. If I were going to steal it, I would have never said anything to you and would have just taken it. Martin never answered his phone when I tried calling him to see where the keys are. So then I had to give your mom a call. But she ended up not picking up the phone, so now I'm on to you. Just stop that. You're going to make my head explode with how much nonsense you're talking about right now. Ah, perfect. Why not just let your head explode then? Then I'll be allowed even more money from your mom when she dies, right? That would be really lucky for me, actually. I could really use it all right now. Madison, how far are you going to take making fun of the current situation where my own mother is dying? Do you not feel like garbage making jokes and saying things like that? Because right now you're really making yourself look like garbage to me. I've been wanting to ask you that same thing. Does it not make you feel like trash always talking down to your sister-in-law like that? I'm not sure why you always do it. Perhaps you think of yourself as some elite human being or some BS, but I'm not having it. Seriously. Wait, I have not been trying to talk down to you. But here's the thing, with the way you're always acting, it would be more rude of me not to talk down to you from time to time. Wow, that was a horrible thing to say. I'm sure that's the reason why no man ever wants to step foot near you, correct? All I've been saying here has been the very truth about you. Why would you even bring up something like me finding a man right now? That has nothing to do with what's going on here. Dang, so now you're going to start saying that you speak only the truth? Uncool. Look, in this world, you have to be respectful of one another in a clean and fair way. Do you understand that, old lady? Whatever. I have nothing else to say to you, Madison. You just leave things be. Uh-oh, somebody's gotten a little mad now.
Hey, Dorothy? How about you give yourself a little time to get some fresh air? It's been over 3 days now, and you haven't been able to get yourself any sleep, right?
I can't be seen taking a break now, Martin. Today is the day of the funeral after all, so I have to help get that ready.
You can just leave the rest of the preparations to me, though. I'm totally capable of handling all of this by myself because of the work I've done before. Well, it is a little bit different than what I'm used to, but please, just for a couple of hours, would you go take a nap for me?
I think in your position, you should just let me handle all of this while you go and handle Madison and her crap.
But I'm not able to get anything from her right now. I'm sure she just ran off to go and play somewhere again. I think for yourself, you should just forget about someone like her for now.
I can't stop thinking about her, though. I'm fine if she never ends up showing to the funeral today. But if she comes to the viewing tonight and starts to cause trouble there, then everyone that's come to see your mom will be upset. The child doesn't have any hint of common sense, and her manners are non-existent.
My family and I are concerned about her as well. What are we gonna do with her? The moment she turned 20, she left the house for good and moved away to California. Yet, at a time like this, she just shows back up. There's no way she came all the way back here for anybody else but herself.
Has she always been so selfish and self-centered?
She has always been the kind of girl to make fun of others and feel as though she's the best. She had always been a good-looking person, so I'm thinking because of her good looks, she got caught up in being so popular.
I see. Well, for right now, I'm going to tell this funeral home's owner to let all the employees know not to let her into this funeral when it starts. I do not want her getting in the way of my mother's funeral today.
All right, sounds good. But I'm sure she won't show up on a day like today.
That would be wonderful if that turns out to be the case. But her not trying to come in and see us here with my mother one last time is also a little screwed up. As long as she just came in all black clothing and didn't say a word, I guess she'd be all right being allowed to come in.
I'm sorry about her. She's caused you so much stress.
Why have you and the rest of the family still not kicked her out for good? And why aren't you bothering to do that now?
Well, so far it doesn't seem like anybody else in that house is worried about what she's been doing. They're just happy to see her back home. So they're not thinking of all the problems she's caused for everyone.
I see. Well, she had been gone for 5 whole years without ever saying a word to anyone. So I'm sure that some of the family is glad to see her back.
But this can't go on forever. My family is just full of a bunch of idiots, and she's going to take advantage of them all next. I was really hoping that by hearing she was back in town, she'd come all the way back due to the serious situation with your mom. But instead, that's not at all the case, and she's just here once again for herself. I get that she's cute and all that. The family really likes to see her around again. That's how things with her always were in the past. But it's just like things were 5 years ago before she left, where I was being ignored by everyone in favor of her.
Your family has always cared more about her than yourself?
She happens to be the little girl that's been known all throughout the town, and that's made my family very proud of her. And when compared to some plain dude like me, she is like a rising star. And that's why nobody bothers to think about me or even bat an eye when I say something.
I see. Things must have been really tough for you back in the day then.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be talking about that right now with everything that's happened.
I was the one asking, so don't worry about it. You're not at all the problem here. Now let's both you and I start getting back to work on these preparations.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, what the heck do you think you're doing? What? Why are you asking me what I think I'm doing right now? What are you wearing right now? How much are you going to mess around like that and at this funeral today before you leave me alone? What? Was there some kind of a dress code for this event? I suppose it's the case here since everyone else is wearing really formal black clothing today. Should I have worn black myself then? Are you kidding me? Everyone is in funeral attire right now, Madison. What? Funeral attire? So everyone is cosplaying like they're at a funeral right now then? You all have some really messed up hobbies. I suppose it's something I could expect from your family though. What the heck are you trying to do right now? You don't have to keep asking me that over and over again. I just came here to party like the rest of you is all. Party? Today you're all having a cosplay party, right? You all got this really fancy looking place to throw the party, which must mean you're all very serious about your hobbies, right? I am tired of you making jokes like this. You cut that out right now, Madison. This is not some party right now. This is my mom's funeral, gosh dang it. What? Is that so? Sorry. So today's the day of your mom's funeral then? I thought we were all going to be celebrating today, and that's why I showed up in this hot red dress. I'm going to make you pay for this. I look forward to it. Now, since I'm already here, I'm going to have a little fun myself. This is supposed to be the one day I could spend my last moments with my mom. I am not going to forgive you for what you've done.
Hey, I'm so sorry about that.
I cannot believe this, Martin. Why the heck is she allowed to do something like that?
I think my parents aren't very aware of what's been going on here. And, once again, Madison has ran off and nobody can find her. All of her things at the house are gone now. I'm not really sure how she managed to grab all of her things and run off that quickly, though.
I'm sure she took my mom's car and left with it. From what I've heard, it's not at her house anymore.
What? You're kidding, right? That girl can't drive, though, so I'm not sure how she took it. I'm so sorry, Dorothy.
I don't want you to apologize for her. You had nothing to do with this, and you yourself have had to deal with her crap for a long time. I was planning on getting my revenge soon, but that's not going to be happening now that she's run off again.
Revenge? What were you thinking of doing to her?
I didn't have anything in mind quite yet. But I can't just let someone like that keep getting away with all this BS. I'm going to make sure that someday she pays for every single bit of crap she's done to those around her.
Ah, I see.
Hey, Dorothy? You're coming to my wedding that's tomorrow, right? Yes, I sure do plan on coming. That was very kind of you to send me an invitation like that to your wedding of all things. Well, it's been a few years now, and I'd really love to see your smiling face again. And if you're not happy already, I wanted to show you just how happy I am right now as a way of hopefully letting you feel good inside. So this is about you showing me how happy you are then? That's something I never cared to hear about from you, yet I knew it was coming. After all, you still have never changed from having such a horrible character. Oh, come on now. Don't say things like that about me. You happen to hear about how I had my debut in the world of entertainment, right? And because of that, there are going to be all sorts of famous celebrities and models coming to the wedding to see me. And what does that have to do with anything? I'm sure you're going to be so happy to see all these famous people, right? After all, you're just some nobody who lives in the middle of nowhere. Also, since I happen to be a celebrity myself now, there will be a lot of really hot men there for you to talk to. I just thought that an old woman like yourself, this would be a really good chance to maybe have a little fun. I really want to know what led you to become such a sly little witch like that when you haven't even made it to your 40s yet. Well, don't worry about me tomorrow, because I'm so excited to be coming to your wedding of all things. Wow, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there as well. Don't forget to bring a handkerchief with you that you can cry into, okay? Hey, what is going on here? What the hell are you trying to do? What? Why are you asking me what I'm trying to do? What are you talking about? We just came here in order to celebrate your biggest day is all. No! I want to know why you're here at my wedding in funeral attire. Well, I had no other choice, Madison. This was the only dress I had in my closet. I could understand you wearing a suit or something on a day like today. But you choose to come here wearing an all-black dress and coat? That is so screwed up of you. And it's not just you either, but the whole family that came looking like that. And this is how we're all going to enjoy your wedding today. So thank you again for inviting us. I see what's going on here. So this is your way of getting your revenge on me for what happened 3 years ago? You seem to have never forgotten about when I showed up to that funeral in my hot red dress, have you? But look here, You doing something like that to me now is only going to backfire on all of you and leave you all being embarrassed. Okay? That's all right. We still have a lot to show you today. Still? Hey, what is going on with you guys? Look at what's going on here. Is literally every single member of your family going to show up here today in funeral attire or something? And that's the plan. My whole entire family has not forgotten about what you did at my mother's funeral 3 years ago. Also, when it comes to how you've always been making fun of my family nonstop, we have not let any of that go. Huh? What part of your family have I been making fun of? My freaking mom, you idiot. My mom was a real charm to this family, and everyone and anyone she talked to always loved her. When everyone saw that you would just continue to berate her with your horrible comments and crap, we all knew we had to do something about you. But come on. That was all happening 3 years ago. You should be able to forget about that and be happy around me again. What kind of adults do you all think you are if you can't forget a few little things from the past? Yeah, that's right. I'm going to be the one in charge of giving the speech for you today, so I hope you're looking forward to that. Huh? Oh, what are you talking about? I never asked for you to be the one giving the speech today. Well, it so happens that I'm going to be the one in charge of giving the speech now, whether you asked for it or not. And from what I'm aware, this is coming from your husband's side. Huh? Husband's side? What do you mean? Why would Chris... Are you guys friends or something? No, not friends. But the person that your husband had asked to be in charge of giving the speech today, one of his friends, so happened to become sick. So I was asked to give the speech in his place, so that's what I'll be doing. Why the hell would they ask some complete stranger to give the speech after his friend became sick? You? Have you gone and bribed someone into letting you give the speech today? Now, I have a little bit of practicing to do before giving the speech, so I'll talk to you later. I'm so very nervous about getting in front of all those people you have here. What do you plan on saying to everyone? Hey! Are you completely brain dead or something? It's all because of you that my wedding is now a total disaster. That speech was completely uncalled for and terrible. Why was it so uncalled for? All I was doing was speaking the truth about you in front of all of your guests today. Huh? None of that crap was true about me. You just started to blab about all the crap you wish was true about me. All the crap I wish was true. Nice one. But really, I wish that none of what I had to tell everyone today about you was true. Did you forget about how you came to my mom's funeral that day in a red dress, talking a whole bunch of crap about her and the family before leaving and stealing her car? Come on now, I was planning on giving you guys that car back. And I happen to be a part of the family, so it's totally fine for me to be able to take her car and use it, right? Then explain this part of the story to me. Was it okay for you to go and sell her car before running off and using that money to pay off all that debt you were in? Well, back then I was going through a lot of stuff. I understand that some people thought that what I was doing might have looked bad, but at that time I didn't have any other choice. I happened to have a dream of becoming a famous actor, and I had to do things that most wouldn't do to get there. Then would you be able to explain what you just said to me to everyone else? You happen to be in need of money really badly, so came back to your family after 5 years of being on the run. And the only reason you stole a car and sold it was because you didn't have time to talk with anybody about having them hand money over to you? You shut the hell up! So is that it for your revenge then? I'm sure you expected more to happen, didn't you? I sure did, but I guess all you could get was a few gasps from everyone here about me. There's still so much more to come, Madison. There's still the main event coming. Now, I'm going to set up this projector I've borrowed and start playing the video I want all of you guys to see. So please sit back and have a watch. What? No way. I was recorded? You sure were. We were able to capture everything you done on the day of my mom's funeral. From the part where you snuck into the house and tore through all of her things looking for those keys, to the parts where you walked out to the car and drove off with it. Once I bring this video to the police, I'm not sure you're going to be in any position to become an actor anymore. Huh? Then why have you been saving all this for 3 years? Why did you never do anything about me before? You had all the evidence, so why didn't you just take care of me back then and get all of this over with? Well, this happens to be video recordings that my mom took of you using the security cameras in her house. What? Back when she was still alive and well, she knew something was off about you whenever you'd come to her house, and so she set up those cameras. But after 5 years, she totally forgot about the cameras because you ran off for good. However, I never forgot, and when I realized she had captured you on them, I was going to talk to her about it, but she was in no state to be worried about you. And not too long after, she passed away. So for the longest time now, I was the only one that knew anything about the video. I didn't have the passwords at the time to get into the camera's recorded files, though, so I had to wait for her lawyer to give us the right to all her things in that house. But by that point, there were other things on my mind. But I happen to be a part of the family, so it shouldn't bother anyone that I was able to go into her house and borrow the keys. Also, you never captured any video of me stealing anything. You actually think the police are going to take me in over a dud video like that? That wasn't the only recording I had of you. What? Huh? That was just the opening act to what all else will follow. There is still another 32 minutes of recorded video to watch, so sit back and have a look. There's more? 32 minutes more? Within these videos, we have evidence of you being in a larger theft ring. So please watch as you're stealing all kinds of other things from my mom's house with them. And all of those people you worked with were able to sell her things off that you stole. And you got a cut of that money, right? And it appears that your husband, Chris, is the leader of that ring, is he not? Oh. Everything about you guys is known about now, so don't try to talk your way out of it this time. Everyone here already suspects a lot about you now, and soon they will see your husband taking part in the crimes as well. Don't you feel you should get on stage now and start explaining yourself before they see the rest of the video? Ugh. I'm flippin' screwed! What the hell? This was supposed to be the point in my life where I got to forget about all of that and start my dream of working in acting. But look, you did such a great job acting in this short film you're seen working in. I'm sure you've learned your lesson now. Shit! I won't forgive you for any of this. Next is going to be my turn to screw you up. Hey, Dorothy. This is Madison, if you didn't know. Well, I've been thinking. I want to come and apologize to you now. What? What the heck has happened to the Madison I knew? After giving it a lot of thought, I feel that I was in the wrong here. Look, I said a lot of terrible things about you and your mom, right? And because of how much I lived only caring about myself, I've caused a lot of you so much trouble, right? So, how are you going to go about apologizing to me? And what will you do after that? I want to give that car I took from your mom back to you. I understand that I sold it already, but I'll go out and buy a new one to replace it. Is that so? And how are you going to bring it to me? I've already come pretty close to your house now, and I'm waiting on your answer. So please, wait in front of your house and I'll swing by to drop it off. Hey, are you alright? That was quite the accident you got into there. How the hell would I be okay after that? My freaking leg is broken! This is so bad. I'm not even joking when I say I want to off myself right now. I'm sure you were trying to get back at me, but you need to calm down and think of the position you've put yourself in again. You don't happen to have a driver's license, right? That's only going to add to the trouble you'll be in with the police. Jesus! Why is this happening to me? Well, because you're an angry and reckless witch. You had a horrible time at your wedding last week, didn't you? Your husband, or should I just say groom, sprinted out of the wedding from you and never came back, right? He's gone and thrown you away, I believe. I'm sure he's going to be in police custody in no time here, and you'll be joining him as well. Why? I was supposed to become a super famous celebrity after my debut and never have to come back around you all again. What made you think you could live life as a celebrity? You have been running around with a group of thieves stealing from people and getting into trouble, weren't you? You're so screwed in the head for thinking you ever had a chance of running away from that past. Shut up! You have no idea what kind of crap I've had to go through and how I've had to feel because of it. And I don't really care to sympathize with a criminal like you. Now, from here on out, I hope you get to live one of the toughest chapters of your life. You've had all the fun you could possibly have being that selfish. So I'm sure you don't mind giving it all up now to go live in prison, right? No! I don't want to go to prison. Hey, I'm still so young. Can't you just help me catch a break here and give me a second chance at all this? What's going to happen to me if I'm taken to prison? Well, I'd really love to forgive you a little for all you've done to me. But in this world, you have to be fair and respectful to one another, right? You, of all people, should understand that.
Hey, are you all right?
I'm completely fine. However, Madison seems to have gotten herself really hurt in that accident. I knew she was going to try and get back at me again, so I was looking out for myself.
What the hell happened there?
That witch said that she'd be giving me back the car that she stole from my mom 3 years ago. She had sold it back then, but she said she bought a new one to replace it for me.
What?
She asked me to stand out in front of my house waiting for her, but I knew what she was up to. When she came barreling around the corner aiming to hit me, I stood myself behind a fire hydrant that blended in with my dress. And right at the last minute, when she was only a few meters away, I moved back from that fire hydrant and hid myself behind a brick wall. She slammed into that fire hydrant going around 45 miles per hour and ended up breaking one of her legs, as well as wrecking that car. She doesn't even have a driver's license either, and seemed to have been willing to break the law again in order to get her revenge. But as we can see, she most certainly should not be behind the wheel of anything, and will not have to face punishment for that as well.
I see. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're okay at least. But I think we took things way too far yesterday. Because of what happened, it's been all over the news.
Thank you so much for helping me with that. You and I were able to work with the staff of that wedding hall and have them report what they saw to the news as well for us. It was only a matter of time before the story made it to the news.
No kidding. But I still feel bad for everything that's happened to those that did nothing wrong. And I feel even more bad about what we had to do to get all of this started. I'm talking about when we went to the wedding staff the first time and forced them to change plans for us.
Yeah, but we had to do all of that in order to carry out the plan of getting back at her, right?
I know. And we happened to plan a lot of things out in advance to make sure we could get this plan to work. Having me tell her about how cheap that wedding hall was as she'd choose it, it all paid off for us in the end.
Really, though. The fact that everything worked out for us is so lucky, I think. We were able to get that witch put into prison, and at the very least, she'll be there for 10 years. And that's what she gets.
We'll finally be able to go back to living in peace again.
Ah, that's right. Oh, there's one last thing I wanted to tell you, Martin. You're not some plain and boring person like your family made you think. You were so kind and caring, and someone that I love calling my husband. After that, due to everything I told the police about Madison, she was taken into custody by them and removed from our lives. She was charged with both breaking and entering and car theft, as well as attempted murder and driving without a license. Because of that, she was in court for a long time. But it wasn't just her that had to sit through a lot of court hearings, but her fiancé that ran from her and the rest of her ring that was caught. I was only trying to land her in jail for her crimes, but thanks to the videos my mom took at her house using the security cameras, the police were able to identify everyone and lock them all up. After all those court cases she had to sit through, she was given 20 years and told there was no bail for any of it. Of course, there was not a single person willing to pay bail for her after all they had learned about. So even if she was allowed to get bailed out, it wasn't going to happen. Right now, Madison is living her life in a prison cell, and she has to learn the hard way that the world does not revolve around her. But instead, that it revolves around the prison warden there. I'm sure a few more years of that and her character of being such a selfish witch will melt away, exposing the little brat that she is underneath. When it comes to myself and Martin, we both moved out of that area and into a smaller home out in the countryside. We both still continue to work for the same company we've always been with, but we do it all remotely now since our bosses were both very understanding of our request. We both are able to live in peace now, knowing that the one thing that was keeping us tethered to the past is now gone. And I can start living my life the way my mother would have wanted. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.